You're seeing this because it's finally your moment to win. This isn't accidental. Carl Jung found that before a major breakthrough, the psyche sends out specific signals. Most people overlook them. They remain trapped in cycles of loss, wondering why success never arrives. But you clicked this video. That tells us your unconscious is prepared. Jung called these moments synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem random but aren't. They're signs of reality aligning itself with your readiness to grow. And right now, in this exact moment, you're standing at the threshold between who you were and who you're about to become. Here's what truly frightens most people about winning. It's not fear of failure. It's fear of success. Jung identified something he called the golden shadow. We suppress our light as deeply as our darkness. We hide our skill, our intelligence, our strength. Why? Because winning brings responsibility. When you step into your full potential, you can no longer blame circumstances. You can't play the victim anymore. You become responsible for the life you build. And that terrifies people more than staying small ever could. But before going deeper, you need to understand why you've been losing. It isn't bad luck. It isn't the universe working against you. You've been attached to losing because losing is familiar. Your nervous system knows how to process defeat. It has rehearsed that pattern for years, maybe decades. Winning feels threatening because it's unfamiliar territory. Your brain reads the unknown as danger, so it sabotages you right before the breakthrough, keeping you stuck in the cycle, even when that cycle destroys you. Jung spent decades observing this pattern. He watched patients approach their greatest opportunities only to collapse at the final moment. They'd get a job offer and skip the interview. They'd meet the ideal partner and push them away. They'd build a business and walk away just before success. He realized this wasn't weakness. It was the psyche protecting itself from the terror of transformation. Because transformation means death, not physical death, but psychological death. The death of the old identity. The death of the person who knew how to lose but didn't know how to win. Right now, your psyche is preparing for that death. And there are clear signs that reveal when this shift is approaching. Jung called the first sign Enantiodromia. This is when life flips from one extreme to its opposite. When things get darkest just before the light. When you hit bottom right before the breakthrough. Most people read this darkness as proof they're failing and give up right before change happens. But Jung saw it differently. He saw it as the psyche clearing out old patterns to make space for new ones. The pressure you feel now isn't life crushing you. It's life preparing you. The second sign is a sudden loss of interest in old habits and relationships. Things that once comforted you now feel hollow. People you once tolerated suddenly feel unbearable. Jung described this as the psyche withdrawing energy from what no longer supports growth. Your unconscious is already moving toward a new reality, but your conscious mind hasn't caught up yet. So you feel detached, restless, like you're waiting for something you can't name. This isn't depression. It's readiness. The third sign is what Jung called the pressure cooker sensation. You feel something building inside you. An energy, an urgency, a certainty that change is coming. You can't explain it logically. You feel it in your body. Your sleep shifts, your appetite changes. You feel unsettled and alive at the same time. This is your psyche generating the pressure needed to break through to the next level. Most people try to numb this feeling with distractions, addictions, and busyness. That only delays what's coming. The pressure keeps rising until you allow the transformation. This is where it becomes dangerous. When victory is close, self-sabotage intensifies. Jung documented this again and again. Right before major breakthroughs, patients would unconsciously destroy their progress. They'd start conflicts with therapists, miss critical sessions, or create crises that derailed their healing. Jung realized this wasn't resistance to therapy. It was resistance to individuation, resistance to becoming fully yourself. Because your full self carries power, and power means you can't hide behind excuses anymore. Think about the last time you were close to winning something that mattered. What happened? Did you procrastinate at the crucial moment? Did you start a conflict with someone who could have helped you? Did you suddenly feel sick or exhausted? These aren't random events. They're your psyche trying to shield you from the terror of success. Because success means maintaining a new level. It means living up to your potential. It means taking responsibility for your power. And that feels more dangerous than staying stuck. Here's the truth no one tells you. Winning isn't about luck. It isn't about perfect timing or ideal circumstances finally appearing. Winning is about allowing. It's about ending your resistance to your own evolution. Jung discovered that people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they can't tolerate the psychological reality of success. They can't handle being seen. They can't handle having power. They can't handle the responsibility that comes with winning. So they sabotage themselves. They recreate the familiar pattern of loss. They reinforce the identity of the struggler, the victim, the one who almost succeeds but never quite does. That identity feels safe. It feels familiar. It feels like home. Right now, you're being asked to burn that home down yourself, to step out of the identity of the loser and into the identity of the winner. And that's terrifying because the winner identity has no script. You don't yet know how to be that person. You haven't practiced that pattern. Your nervous system doesn't recognize that frequency. So it feels wrong, dangerous, like you're pretending to be someone you're not. But here's what Jung understood that changes everything. You aren't becoming someone new. You're becoming who you truly are beneath all the conditioning, trauma, and fear. The winner is your real self. The loser is the mask you wore to survive a world that punished your light. You learn to stay small because stepping big once caused pain. You learn to fail because succeeding made others uneasy. You learn to sabotage yourself because your success threatened the people around you. Jung called this collective unconscious pressure. When you begin to grow beyond your family system, your social circle, your culture, the collective unconscious pushes back. It tries to drag you into what's familiar. It uses shame, guilt, fear, and doubt to keep you in place. Because when one person breaks free, it unsettles everyone who remains trapped. Your freedom becomes a mirror reflecting their cage. And most people would rather attack the mirror than confront their confinement. This is why winning feels lonely at first. When you step into your power, you step out of the unspoken agreement to remain small. People who were comfortable with the losing version of you grow uncomfortable with the winning one. They preferred you when you needed them, when you struggled like they struggle, when you confirmed their belief that success is unreachable. Your victory challenges that belief. So they pull back their support, their closeness, their approval. And it feels like punishment. But Jung saw this differently. He understood this withdrawal as confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. When you individuate, when you become fully yourself, you will lose people. You have to lose people because those relationships were built on your false self, your reduced self, your losing self. They cannot survive your shift into your winning self. And that isn't tragedy. That is freedom. Here is the core of everything Jung discovered about winning. You don't need to become someone else. You need to stop pretending to be someone you're not. The winner already lives inside you. It always has. You've been hiding it, suppressing it, denying it because the world taught you that your power was dangerous, that your success would threaten others, that your light would overwhelm those who prefer darkness. So you dimmed yourself. You became smaller, quieter, less visible. You learned to lose gracefully because winning wasn't safe. Now, after years or even decades of this pattern, your psyche is finished with the act. It's ready to stop pretending. It's ready to let you win. But you must choose it. You must consciously stop identifying as the victim, the struggler, the one who almost succeeds but never does. You have to claim the winner identity even though it feels unfamiliar, frightening, and wrong. This is the psychological shift that changes everything. When you stop waiting for permission to win. When you stop needing perfect circumstances. When you stop requiring universal approval for your success. When you decide you are done losing and ready to win. Reality reorganizes itself around that decision. Not through magic, but through psychology. When you embody the winner frequency, you make different choices. You notice different opportunities. You take different actions. And those actions produce different outcomes. Jung called this the individuation process. The movement from unconscious living to conscious choice, from reactive survival to creative power, from being lived by life to living life intentionally. And this process demands specific psychological steps. First, you must recognize your attachment to losing. You must see how you've unconsciously created failure to preserve a familiar identity. Catch yourself in moments of self-sabotage. Notice the procrastination. Watch the conflicts you provoke. Observe the crises you create right before breakthroughs. Don't judge these patterns. Just see them clearly. Second, you must integrate your golden shadow. You must reclaim the power, skill, and brilliance you've been hiding. This means admitting you're capable of far more than you've allowed yourself to reach. It means recognizing you've been playing small not because you lack ability, but because you fear responsibility. It means owning that you are exceptional, yet have pretended to be ordinary to avoid threatening others. Third, you must grieve the losing identity. You must let it die. Not with violence or shame, but with compassion. That identity once protected you. It kept you safe when safety meant survival. It guarded you when you were too young or wounded to protect yourself. But it has outlived its purpose. Now it's a cage, and you must step out, even though it feels like home. Even though leaving feels like dying. Because it is the death of who you were, so you can become who you are. Fourth, you must claim the winner identity before there is proof. This is the hardest step. You must be the winner before you start winning. You must embody that frequency before reality reflects it back. It feels dishonest. Feels like acting. Feels like fraud. But Jung understood that every transformation requires this uneasy bridge. You can't wait to feel like a winner before acting like one. You act like one until you become one. That means choosing from winner consciousness even when your circumstances scream failure. Showing confidence while feeling terrified. Speaking truth while your voice shakes. Taking action without guarantees. Winners don't wait for certainty. They create certainty through commitment. They decide and move forward despite fear, doubt, or external validation. Fifth, you must protect your transformation from collective unconscious pressure. As you begin to win, people will try to pull you back. They'll question your decisions, remind you of past failures, predict your collapse. They'll disguise concern as care while trying to reinstall your losing identity. You must see this clearly, not as love, not as protection, but as collective fear. The group mind resisting your evolution because your success threatens its excuses. Jung prepared his patients for this resistance. He taught that true individuation requires psychological independence. You must trust your inner knowing more than outside opinion. You must value your growth more than others' comfort. You must choose your evolution even when it costs you relationships, approval, and belonging. Because the alternative is remaining small forever just to keep others comfortable. And that isn't love. That's self-abandonment. Sixth, you must learn how to tolerate success without destroying it. This is where most people collapse. They finally break through. They finally start winning. And then their nervous system panics because success feels unfamiliar and unsafe. So they unconsciously ruin what they've built. They start conflicts. They make reckless choices. They manufacture crises that pull them back into the familiar losing pattern. Jung called this the regression reflex, the psyche's attempt to retreat to known territory when new ground feels too threatening. To override this reflex, you have to train your nervous system to experience success as safe. This happens through repetition and conscious choice. Every time the urge to sabotage appears, you pause. You breathe. You remind yourself that discomfort is not danger. It's simply unfamiliarity. It's your system adapting to a new frequency. You don't need to act on the impulse. You only need to let it move through you while you keep going. Over time, winning becomes as familiar as losing once was. Your nervous system stops resisting, and you can finally sustain the success you create. Seventh, you must understand that winning isn't a destination. It's a practice. You don't win once and finish. You win daily through conscious choices that align with your highest self. Some days it feels effortless. Some days it feels unbearable. But you choose it anyway, because feelings are not facts. Their nervous system responses to stimuli, and you're learning to act from awareness instead of conditioning, from choice instead of compulsion, from power instead of programming. Jung believed that those who complete this process become individuated. They're no longer driven by collective unconscious patterns. They're no longer ruled by fear and conditioning. They become conscious creators of their reality. They win not because of luck, but because they are psychologically aligned with winning. They embody the frequency they want to experience, and reality reflects it back. This is your turn to win. Not because the universe suddenly became generous, but because you're finally willing to let yourself win. You're finished with the losing identity. You're ready to step into your power even though it feels terrifying. You're willing to take responsibility for your potential instead of hiding behind excuses. And that readiness is everything. The signs are already present in your life. The pressure, the restlessness, the dissatisfaction with what once felt enough. The sense that something is about to shift. These aren't random. They're your psyche preparing for transformation. Your unconscious is ready. The only question is whether your conscious mind will cooperate or resist. Will you allow the shift or fight it? Will you claim the winner identity or cling to the losing one? Here's what you need to do now. First, acknowledge that you've been choosing loss, not deliberately, but unconsciously through sabotage, procrastination, and settling. See the pattern without judgment. Just recognize it. Second, decide that you're done. Make a conscious choice that losing is no longer acceptable, that you will no longer betray your potential for comfort. Third, identify one action you can take today that aligns with the winner identity. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Today, now, while the energy of this realization is alive. Fourth, expect resistance, from yourself, from others, from life. When it appears, don't read it as failure. Read it as transformation. The stronger the resistance, the greater the breakthrough on the other side. Fifth, find people who can witness your growth without trying to stop it. You can't do this entirely alone. You need allies who understand individuation, who've walked this path, who can hold space for your evolution without controlling it. Sixth, commit to the daily practice of choosing from your highest self instead of your conditioned self. Each morning, ask what the winner version of you would do today. Then do it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels like acting, especially when it feels like acting. That's how the bridge is crossed. You act as if, until you become. This is finally your moment to win because you're finally ready to allow it. The universe has been waiting for this readiness. Your unconscious has been preparing for this point. Everything that led you here, everything that made you click, everything that kept you watching was synchronicity. Meaningful coincidence. Reality organizing itself around your evolution. And now you understand what that truly means. Now you understand the psychological reality beneath the mystery. You're standing at the threshold between your old life and your new one. Between the losing identity and the winning identity. Between unconscious living and conscious creation. The decision is yours. You can close this video and return to the familiar pattern. You can act as if you didn't hear what you just heard. You can tell yourself this doesn't apply to you. Or you can step through the gateway. You can claim your power. You can become who you truly are. Jung devoted his life to revealing this path. Not because he wanted to make people comfortable or happy, but because he understood that human consciousness is meant to evolve, and that evolution happens one person at a time. Every individual who completes the individuation process makes it easier for others to do the same. Your transformation isn't only personal, it's collective. When you stop losing and start winning, you shift the field of possibility for everyone around you. You become living evidence that change is real. So this is your turn to win. Not because you're more deserving than anyone else, but because you're finally willing to claim it. You're ready to stop hiding your light to keep others comfortable. You're finished betraying your potential just to maintain belonging. You're choosing evolution over excuses. And that single choice changes everything. If you're ready to fully step into this winning timeline, subscribe to this channel. We're going deeper into Jung's insights on psychological transformation. We're exploring the shadow, the archetypes, the unconscious patterns that control most people, and learning how to break free, how to individuate, how to become fully yourself in a world that demands conformity. Welcome to your new timeline. This is where everything shifts. This is where you stop losing and start becoming who you were always meant to be. Thanks for watching. See you in the next dimension. You said.